Friend is mad because my husband complimented her. Trigger warning. Past cheating, cheating discussions, sexual harassment, mental health issues, car accidents. A good friend of mine broke up with her boyfriend of 6 years after she discovered he was cheating. She has recently decided to get back into dating, but she wanted the first date to be a double date for her own comfort. Her date was completely on board and they invited my husband and I. We met at a restaurant. My husband and I arrived first, and my friend showed soon after. Before her date arrived, my husband made a comment to her, "That dress looks elegant on you. The color is unique." Here's the thing about my husband and his family, they give compliments. It's never sexual or over the top, but they all will occasionally give nice comments to people they know/trust, regardless of gender, and they do it sensibly in my opinion. And it's not always about appearances. It's one of the things that attracts me to him. The dinner went well, we thought. My friend's date seemed to hit it off with her. But the next day, my friend texted me this: "You need to tell your husband to stop making comments about other women. That's how affairs start." I told her I disagreed. She responded, "As someone who was cheated on, trust me, I know. I can't believe you are okay with looking at my dress. I was pissed off for you." I told her that if she is uncomfortable with him complimenting her then she can tell him herself and that he'll respect her boundaries/wishes. She replied with, "Don't come crying to me when you catch him with another woman." I'm at a complete loss for how to approach this. Update 1, my husband now knows. Over breakfast I showed him the text messages. Initially he just said, "What the hell," but then he reread them, and I think it got to him a little as his facial expression got more serious/attentive. Then he said, "That's disgusting. You know I'd never cheat or compliment someone to cheat, right?" I told him yes, of course. That's all that matters. Don't smell what she's stepping in, she can work on that in therapy. Thank you all again. Initially I wasn't going to tell him but I'm glad I did. Your thoughts helped me to change my mind. I still am not going to respond to my friend but if she reaches out for anything then I will tell her we need to resolve this first. Update 2, 3 things of note have transpired since the incident that occurred over the weekend. 1. This morning after some of you kind souls changed my mind, I showed my husband the text messages while we were eating breakfast. At first glance he just said, "What the hell," but then he read it again and paused to think. He found it disgusting and agrees that I should not involve myself further, and that my friend probably needs therapy to overcome her hurt. His exact words, "Don't smell what she's stepping in." 2. My husband called me on his lunch break and honestly sounded a little alert. Like shaken up. When he opened Facebook today he found a friend request from my friend. Now neither of us want to jump to conclusions. He doesn't check FB often and it doesn't say when she sent him the request. I want to assume it was before the double date. Regardless, he declined it. 3. Unfortunately some of you were right and my friend, K, involved someone else. A mutual friend, J, sent me screenshots. To my knowledge this is the only person she's talked to. K said she felt like my husband was looking at her and she asked J what to do. J pleaded with her not to do or say anything and K agreed not to, but this conversation happened before she texted me. So she lied. I thanked J for letting me know and sent the following message to K. Some of my wording was inspired by people who took the time to share their thoughts on the original post. "Hey, I've thought about what you said, and I am very not okay with it. You said, when I find him with another woman. Not if, which tells me you have already judged him as unfaithful over a completely innocent and well-intentioned compliment, which is normal for him. I've cherished your friendship but I don't think I can be close with someone who thinks my life partner is unfaithful. I say this with love, but perhaps because you've been burned, and you have absolutely been burned, now every light looks like a fire to you. My hope and prayer is that you heal from what's been broken. Maybe after some healing or some counseling we can talk, but for now I think I need to create some distance because I am feeling very hurt by your comments. Nothing but hope for the best for you." I concluded the text with a link to an article on projection. She hasn't responded and I don't think she will, and I definitely don't have the emotional capacity to respond if she does. I'm just tired at this point. I don't want to talk to J about it, because I don't want to be a wrench in her friendship with K, so I am once more getting it off my chest here, though I feel a little guilty about sharing so much. Hopefully this is the last update. Sorry it was a novel. I'm going to go watch some shows until I feel something. Right now I'm just numb. Update 3. I feel hurt and torn and bludgeoned by the suddenness of all this. Going from having a good friend to no longer trusting them in 3 to 4 days is a lot. I still empathize because she lost a trusting relationship with a significant other of 6 years and can only imagine the toll of it is what's causing this confusing behavior. Regardless, we are done with it and I am spent. Update 4. She proceeded to send a friend request to my husband on FB. He is uncomfortable so he declines it. Hours later she finds him on a money-sharing app and sends him money, the amount we paid with our gift card. At that point I texted her and told her not to contact him or me. The next day she sends him another FB request and he blocks her. She told one of our 2 mutual friends that she was upset by me and my husband. The friend sent me the text exchange. My actual question is, my husband and I are still feeling uncomfortable. Is it appropriate to discuss this with the mutual friends? I don't want it to hurt their relationship with her, but I also want them to let me know if she continues to talk about my husband, and or give them a heads up that she and I are not communicating right now so as to not end up at the same outing or anything. Update 5. From this point on, OP will refer to the friend as K. One of our two mutual friends also sent me screenshots of K telling her that she thought my husband was going to cheat on me. Because of the compliment. The friend vouched for him and told her to leave it alone. This was before she even texted me the first time. That brings us to today. I do not like sharing gossip among friends. However, I have been contemplating telling our two mutual friends that Kay and I are not speaking. Firstly, because I don't want us to accidentally end up at the same outing or in a group chat. But also, I kind of want to know if she talks more about my husband. However, I do not want to tarnish their friendship with Kay. Update 6. I called each of my friends and explained to them what happened. I told them about the texts and the repeated contact attempts on social media and that my husband and I don't want any contact with her moving forward. They both shared that they've been worried about her recently, because it seems like she's gone from being a shy, relatively conservative kind of girl to suddenly very outgoing, and one of them even said she's been doing risky things that aren't like her. She didn't go into detail. But they both agreed to try to encourage her to get some help. Update 7. I thought it was over. My husband came home from work a while ago with tears in his eyes. She sent him photos of herself in a skimpy outfit. She somehow got his phone number and sent him pictures from a number different from the one I have from her. Cleavage hanging out. Hands on various different body parts. I saw the photos. Her face is out of frame, but she has the same build, and I swear I recognize the room in the photo as her bathroom. I know it's her. The timing is too coincidental to not be. Husband is on the porch talking to his dad on the phone, and I'm trying to make dinner, but I feel like I'm about to lose it. I feel so helpless for him. He's probably not even going to eat, so I don't even know why I'm making anything. Relevant comments. Someone suggests OP's husband get a new number. OP, he already did, and it was really easy. Only a few close people are going to get the new number, so I don't think it will be too tiresome. Update 8. I am a little worried because he got sick at work this morning, but he claims breakfast just didn't sit well and it's not stress. I think it's both, but he requested flamin' hot chicken for dinner, so I take that as a good sign. Some may disagree with me on this, and that's okay. I understand. However, when my friends spoke to Kay's aunt a second time today, the aunt asked to speak with me and I agreed. Aunt is amazing. She spoke with me and my father-in-law and actually asked if she could meet us at the police department. So FIL and I met husband and the aunt at the PD. My husband and I were able to make a report regarding what has been going on. Aunt wanted to come with because she has tried multiple times to reach Kay today after hearing what's going on and hasn't heard from her. I will try not to give too much info here. She informed the PD that Kay had episodes when she was in her custody as a late teenager, and she freaking brought the paperwork to prove it. She means business. We live in a city that has a mental health crisis team, so the PD, aunt, and that team are doing a wellness check of sorts, and aunt is really going to push for her to be evaluated at a hospital. The officer we spoke to said there's a chance they can do a psych hold, which I hope won't cause further trauma. A restraining order can't be granted for the time being, which my husband and I understand and many of you warned. But there is at least a report. Some have asked what comes next should this be a mental/medical episode and Kay recovers from it. First of all, I hope she does. My husband will absolutely continue to have no contact under any circumstance. A college professor of ours back in the day told me that you can forgive someone and still draw a firm boundary. And that is what I would intend to do. I don't want to deny her the opportunity to apologize if that's something that needs to be done for her healing. But we will not be friends in the future. We had our season. I hope with my whole heart this is the end of it. I feel a great sense of relief and hope for the best for her. My husband has a great support system in both of our families, and he is my focus now. Update 9. The following week was spent dealing with her contacting him on social media multiple times, sending him money, us telling her to stop, and climaxing when she sent him sexually suggestive photos. We filed a police report for harassment and, with the help of her aunt who was alerted to the situation. The friend was hospitalized for a mental health episode of some kind. It was a stressful time for me and my husband especially, as he was scared out of his mind he was being set up for a false accusation or that something would make me question him, which never was the case. Anyway, I guess my ex-friend, we'll call her Kay, was recently released from the hospital. She called me this morning and asked if she and I could meet one-on-one to talk things over. I agreed and we did that a short while ago. She was very apologetic. She described the episode as watching herself do despicable things without being able to stop herself. She admitted that, before she felt completely out of her own mind, she wanted to inflict harm because she was feeling so hurt herself that she wanted to get revenge on someone, but she says she does not remember specifically targeting me and my husband. I'm not sure how to feel about that. She is now under the care of a good mental health team and her aunt who is so badass, and is getting back to being her normal self. She asked if she and I could still be friends. I told her that my loyalty is to my husband, and by hurting him she hurt me. I told her I forgave her, I do not think ill of her. And I hope with my whole heart she finds continued health and happiness, but an ongoing friendship is a no. I shared with her some of what we went through, installing a camera etc., and I feel a bit badly because I think she felt quite guilty because of it. But I felt it necessary for her to understand the boundary I am maintaining. She wrote my husband an apology note which she allowed me to read. He declined to read it himself and says he has forgiven her in his heart, but hearing from her would bring the anxiety and stress back up, which I totally get. I feel relieved that she is on the mend, and sad for closing the chapter on a friend. I also am worried that my husband is still impacted by what happened. So I am trying to communicate with him often and keeping an eye on him. Hopefully time will continue to heal all parties involved. OP did post appreciation for her husband on our/marriage. In it she includes this sweet note: through all of this, I learned again that my husband is trustworthy. He held nothing back. And he had multiple opportunities to cheat if he wanted to. As painful as this was, I can't help but appreciate him for being so faithful and trustworthy. I hope this novel encourages someone today.